It's big dog season, and you can't stay still because you want it. Talk that talk, George. You still scraping your plate because you're hungry. Talk that talk.
We started off the broadcast tonight with the president's cabinet shakeup, and that's, of course, only a fraction of what's unfolded over the last 102 days of the second Trump administration. The question is, what are voters making of it all? CNN's Van Jones has been talking to Trump supporters dating back to 2016. He is, as you know, a Democrat who is a former senior advisor to President Obama. For tonight's report, he met with a small group of black voters, a man and a woman from South Carolina and another woman from North Carolina, all of whom voted for President Trump. CNN's exit polling shows Mr. Trump got 8% of the black vote in 2016, and that grew slightly into the teens over the next two elections. Here's Van's report from Greenville, South Carolina.
There they are.
You do well.
And here we are in South Carolina with 3 Trump voters. You weren't always a Republican.
No. Actually, I come from a family that was like super Democratic. My first time voting, I voted Democrat. I voted for Joe Biden.
What about Trump appealed to you?
Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, part of it is he's an asshole. I like authenticity.
You voted for Obama then you voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016, but 2020 you voted for Donald Trump. What made the change?
I began listening to someone, her name is Candace Owens, and I read her book, and it just opened my eyes to maybe he's not this person that I have been led to believe that he was.
So you voted against Trump in 2016,
Yes.
but then in 2020 you voted for him?
Absolutely.
Why?
I saw how things were going during his first term, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I was pleased with what was happening. I saw the economy getting better. I saw country relations in certain countries getting better.
What are some things that he's doing that you do like?
For me, I like the border. I just don't like the idea of someone coming here illegally and getting benefits that can serve my community. So that's the reason why I support him on that border policy.
When you think about the border, you think about people coming here who are getting more help than people who live here and who were born here.
Yeah. And I got that perspective not from news channels. I got it from social media. TikTok is like a holy grail. We even see it with the things that we learn about the United States government outside of the United States. People are showing Americans, hey, look at what's going on. Do y'all know that your government is doing this? Have you seen this? Have you looked at it from this perspective?
You know, people, when they think about a Trump voter, they usually think about like a white dude with like a red hat on and a pickup truck, and y'all are not that at all. So Donald Trump's team went in, they took down Harriet Tubman's picture for a quick minute. They're trying to like knock out the black museums. What does that have to do with the price of eggs, and how does that impact you?
In some ways, it's a slap in the face. In other ways, I don't care. I care more about how I'm going to take care of my children.
I don't think the average American cares about that. I know I am sick and tired of seeing black people sit there and complain about something, but not taking action and steps to actually try to change things in an appropriate manner.
Under the Trump and Biden administration, they came to certain agreements with police departments to be less brutal toward the black community. Trump has now ended all that. How does that help the black community?
I have a lot of issues with police reform and just with how police officers are treated as a whole. My husband is currently going through the process to become a police officer. The amount of hatred that cops get, even the best ones, I think has become a huge problem, because it has been, especially around election times, when it definitely comes out of like, oh no, the cops are bad, the cops hate you because you're black. They're immediately deemed as evil.
This man is talking about running for a third term. Now, what do you think about that?
The third term, for me, absolutely not. I think it's at the end of these 4 years, it's time to move on.
This is a prime example of him trolling people, because people have said, they're like, oh, if he gets in the office, he's going to be a dictator. He's going to try to run for a third term. So he's like, okay, y'all think I'm going to do that? I'm going to mess with y'all and say this to tick y'all out.
I thought you loved this man because he's so authentic and he's such a truth teller.
But you need to know the difference between somebody trolling somebody, and this is a prime example of him being a troll.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump again, yes or no?
Yes, I would. Now, in the future, I am not a diehard Democrat or diehard Republican. If there were a Democratic candidate who was more aligned for me, then I would vote Democrat.
If you go back in time, would you vote for Donald Trump? Yes or no?
Yes.
I think I might know the answer on this next one.
She said yes. It's immediately yes. No, I'm sorry.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump? Yes or no?
1,000% absolutely yes.
And Van Jones joins me now. It's interesting, most of the information that they are getting, or misinformation they may be getting, is coming from online.
Really, 100%. The thing that surprised me the most was how much social media is dictating, especially the younger guy. You know, he said, look, I'm learning all this stuff about America that I didn't know. I'm like, where are you learning from? TikTok. China. Guys, you're a Republican and you're taking the Chinese narrative about your own country to heart. But that was a big part of their whole information ecosystem.
Yeah,
social media.
Does it seem to you that they follow news closely? I mean,
no, that was the other thing too. Is that, you know, one of the women said, "Look, I do not watch any of the media." She says, "You know, I have some influencers I follow. Candace Owens being a big deal, and Newsmax." And that is their information system. And listen, these are hardworking people. They're good people. They care about the country, but they are in a completely different information environment than people who I talk to every day.
Van Jones, thanks very much.
Good morning. Today is Tuesday. It's May 13th. The year is 2025. We are halfway through May. I saw this news report about these Trump supporters and how they continue to stand by Donald Trump, black people who voted for Donald Trump. TikTok. If you're getting your news from TikTok, I'm not surprised that you're voting for Donald Trump. If you're getting your news and information from TikTok or YouTube, or what are the word? These people who, like me, who make videos, and you're not accurately getting incorrect news, I find it very hard to believe that these black people dismiss without any regard Donald Trump removing information from the African American Museum of Art in of the African American Museum of History in Washington, D.C., how he removed and fired people and removed exhibits. I find that was really strange. Why on earth do they? Maybe they don't even know what happened. But I also find it strange that so many black people voted for Trump. So I'm not. These black people, they're ignorant. They're very ignorant. Black or white, people who support Donald Trump, who got where they are, who support Donald, they're just ignorant. They don't know any better. There's just no way around it. Whether you're black, white, or Latino, or Cuban, you voted for a man who's out to destroy everything and everyone and create so much chaos. And, you know, they stand by their decision. It's like the blind leading the blind right off a damn cliff. I've always been, every black person I met who voted for Trump, and I know quite a few of them, I almost feel as if these people were narcissistic assholes. Something just was off about the people I know who are Trump supporters. I can't say anything, I mean, because it's almost like they didn't watch or see the same things that I saw or other people saw. Trump is a big liar. Look at the destruction he's doing. Why is Trump bringing in these white Africans from South Africa? And he created a whole bunch of lies about their existence in South Africa. Even the people who are in South Africa, you've had several organizations in South Africa saying this is all false. This is not what's happening in South Africa. But he created a program to allow white South Africans to come over here on a refugee program, but he stopped every other refugee program. But this is what black people voted for. I've always known that black people, something's wrong with black people, how they put white people on a pedestal. A lot of white people, black people put a lot of white people on the pedestal. They just think the white man's water is colder. They think he's smarter. I don't know. Listen, y'all. I deal with white people on a very limited basis over here because I really don't have any need for them other than buy my supplements. I sell them to them and get on about my damn business. I'm not going to place them on a pedestal and say, oh, life is better because I know some white people. That ain't the case. Because I would be honest with you, I know very few white people, and the few encounters I have had with white people have been pretty negative in my life. I had some okay positive experience with some, and mainly with business purposes. But as for my personal interactions, when I lived in white neighborhoods and I had the most beautiful house on the block, and in the way I was treated, I never cared for dealing with white people. No more than that. I'm not no fool. I don't trust them white folks probably I can throw their asses. But these black people seem to love Trump. And it's just... But something's mentally off with black people who support Donald Trump. If you know of anyone who's black, like I do, I know quite a few people. And every person I know that supports Donald Trump is a narcissist or bipolar or something's wrong with them mentally that they would choose to vote for this crazy man and continue to support him in spite of everything he's done. We can't be that stupid. Yeah, we can be that stupid. So I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting video from CNN that showed, these black people doubling down on their decision. And they ain't the only one. There's a lot of them out there. They happy. I'm glad I voted for Trump. I'm like, okay, well. But Trump was like Godzilla, just going around destroying the whole country, tearing everything up, destroying everything, financially everything, and they're happy. That's what narcissists do. They want to see the country destroyed. They want to see everything torn apart. So, but that's their decision, to support a crazy maniac. That man is insane. He's just insane, and no way to do it. It's disgusting. But anyway, it's a short video. I'm about to give me some breakfast. I'm over here. I've been working on some stuff. I find, I'm starting to get more and more sleep. Since Earl's death, my sleep and eating has been off some tremendously. I haven't been able to eat as much as I would like to eat. Eat or sleep has just been complicated for me. So I'm learning to I go to bed early, just get on and take a shower, get on bed so I can get some sleep, and I toss and turn all night. And, last night I was able to I woke up this morning refreshed. If I can get moving forward, I can get more sleep like that, I'll be okay. It's just get some sleep and just to relax and try to get back to normal. And then I'm going to eat something. I should have ate something by now. I should have got some breakfast, but I was doing some other stuff around here. And I was just sitting here drinking some coffee. But I'm about to eat breakfast, give me something to eat, get my day started, and try to take care of some stuff over here and just keep, stay busy. That's all I can do. Like I said, I want to do some videos about Earl and I just haven't got to the point where I want to discuss that right now. I don't have the energy, to be honest with you. Yep, some energy together so I can be able to, discuss this stuff. But I got to get up and get some energy together. It's complicated, you all. Every time I go into Earl's closet, I get sad. I just kind of go in there. I took some clothes. I had a basket of clothes that Rosie had cleaned up. It was Earl's clothes. I had set them in separate, but I took a basket of clean clothes that were Earl's clothes, and I had separated them from my clothes and put it in the closet. And then I realized that I set them and I left the basket in my bedroom, and Rosie folded those clothes. She folded them out. So I took them to Earl's closet, and I went into Earl's closet. And, it's complicated, because it's full of closet, full of his personal belongings in there. And I just kind of stared at all that stuff for a second. And it's just overwhelmed. There's a ton of stuff up there. And I was like, what am I going to do with this stuff? But, it's just one day at a time. That's all I could do. So after I composed myself, I closed that closet door and came on back downstairs. I said, nothing I can do about that right now. just keep moving forward. It was one day at a time. So anyway, I just wanted to share that video with you all about these black Trump supporters and how they're doubling down on their vote for Trump. They ain't learned their lesson yet. So, well, we got a little ways to go with Trump, and as he continues to destroy everything in sight. So we got a little bit more to go. I'm pretty sure in a year or two from now, if they ain't changed their mind, they will change their mind. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time before they wake up and say, damn, this man is destructive. And then some people may never learn. Some people may never ever learn from this experience. And for them, Trump will always be that white daddy that they love. We all know some black people that just love white folks. They do anything. White people, they just love them. Even though the white folks they loving hate their ass. That's bizarre. I've seen enough Trump. I don't think Trump put any people on his cast. I mean, there's just some things that any black folks. Something about Trump when it comes to dealing with black Americans that just seems really, really horrific to me. But maybe they see something I don't see. I guess so. They looking at some bullshit on TikTok. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, you get your news from TikTok? Okay, you are stupid. Anyway, today it is Tuesday. It's May 13th. The year is 2025. I'm going to give me some breakfast, and I'll speak to you all later. Have a great Tuesday, and get my ass to the gym. Because let me go on about my day, get this thing over with. I'm out of here, and I'll speak to y'all later. I'm out. Bye. I'm working. I'm trying to get back to normal with videos. I'm trying. Give me some time, y'all. Every day, I promise you, I'm going to get up and do a video. I promise. This is my promise going forward. Even though days I don't feel like I'm going to give y'all a video. Okay, I'm out. Bye.